What's up, everyone? I'm here. We got an awesome guest, new Edinboro commit, last year's New England third place finisher from St. John's Prep, Mr. Jayden D'Ambrosio. Jayden, how you doing, man?
Doing great, thank you. I appreciate you for having me on.
Of course, man. Like I said, new Edinboro commit. Let's actually start off talking about that. Just what I'm curious. When did Edinboro first reach out to you? When did you first get in contact with them?
So it was probably mid-summer, early summer where they started to contact me. I had Coach James contact me. He actually contacted my dad first, and then kind of just started from there.
Gotcha. And what were your initial thoughts from that first conversation?
I was pretty surprised. They showed a lot of interest, so I was kind of surprised at first, and then the process just took off from there.
And what other schools were you considering up until this point?
So I was looking at American University, George Mason, schools like that. But Edinboro mostly just it was just the area, the people. It was just a lot of deciding factors that went into it.
Was it I imagine definitely the culture and everything, imagine you probably meshed well with the team and coaches you saw down there?
100%. When I took my official visit, everything just went right. It was great. I know
pretty cool holding the big sword.
Yeah, it was awesome. I know a few guys out there. I obviously know Cam. Obviously talked to them a bit before making my decision. Cam, Marshall, Shuneman. They all came into the deciding factor.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Massachusetts guys that have gone to Edinboro. I know the Sodas have, like you just mentioned. Vic Avery, I know, was an All-American for them.
Yeah.
So almost a little pipeline,
Yeah, absolutely.
And what weight would you see yourself wrestling there? 65 or?
I'm thinking 57 or 65. If I don't get too big, I think it should still make 57.
Are you still growing? Because you went from 38 to 57. Over the summer or whatever. So it's kind of a decent sized jump.
Big jump for me. The gym has obviously helped a lot. I wake up really early, go to the gym, get out of the way with. Then I obviously got practice during the day. So
that kind of leads me to another question. How do you stay focused on, your wrestling career and your goals? You're a high school senior. I'm sure you have tons of distractions, heading your way. So how do you just keep your head, on point?
So my dad helps with that a lot. My dad's been a big mentor for me ever since I was a little kid. He always keeps me set on my goals. If you keep grinding, you keep putting in the work, everything's going to come to you. So it's always been a big help having my dad in my corner my whole career.
Awesome. And so now let's get into the beginning. When did that career start? How old were you when you first started wrestling?
I was in preschool. I was about 4 or 5 when I first stepped on a wrestling mat. I went to Wakefield. A lot of people don't know that when I was a little kid. I went to Wakefield, wrestled with their youth program. Then Red Roots, and then when I was about in 4th or 5th grade, I started going to Doughboys, and that's really when my wrestling took off.
Do you remember? Did you like the sport at first, or was it annoying?
Hard for me. I really did like it. My dad did it when he was in high school. He obviously he went to UMass. He went to wrestle Division I at UMass before they cut the program. But yeah, it was hard for me at first, but I definitely had a liking to it because my dad did it, and I kind of wanted to be like my dad.
I hear it, dude. I'm the same way. My dad wrestled, got me and my brother into it. I feel like that's a story for most people.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned, Doughboy, where you, found your home in the club scene, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember your first time walking into that Doughboy room?
I do. So the first time I went, it was I was overwhelmed. There was a lot of good wrestlers in there. Like, it took me a while to find my spot in there. It took a lot of grinding, and just came home to me as time went on. Marshall, Shuneman, I've grown really close with them over the years. I can talk to them about just about anything.
Shout out to boys at Doughboy over there. So, like, when did you start competing? Were you competing like right off the bat, your first season, or were you kind of like taking it easy?
I did start competing right off the bat. I remember the Chelmsford tournament was my tournament. I took second place there. I remember it, and I cried after I lost in the finals.
Oh, do you remember who you lost to? Was this someone that you still see nowadays?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I really don't remember, but it just took off from there. It was the Chelmsford tournament, then maybe I don't even remember. That was a long time ago.
And you said you came in second though that tournament. So when do you remember the first tournament you won?
It would have probably been my second year. I don't remember which specific tournament. Might have been like a Woburn tournament or something like that.
And although you don't remember the tournament, do you think you could recall the emotions you felt winning that?
So that's what probably kicked it off for me. The emotions I felt from winning really triumphed over the losses. So that's what really made me keep going. Mm-hmm. My dad just kept pushing me. So
awesome, dude. So and when did you start traveling, out of Massachusetts, out of New England for competition?
So my mistake was I think I started too late. If I started as a young kid and I like when I actually started wrestling, started traveling to PA and all those other states for wrestling, I think I could have been definitely a much better wrestler because it's the more experience. Mm-hmm. But I probably started around 6th, 7th grade. I started traveling with Doughboys. I remember my first ever travel tournament went out to I think it was Lake Placid, and that's what kicked it all off.
And did you notice, the tougher competition out there, heading New York and, Pennsylvania and stuff, like, oh man, we're not in New England anymore.
Right, absolutely. I remember we wrestled Dark Knights, and that's what really, they're a great club. That's what really set the tone, wow, this team's good.
Yeah. I bet it kind of made you hungry seeing that level of competition. You probably just want to be like, wow, I want to be those guys. I want to beat those guys,
Absolutely. That's the kind of mindset I had. Mm-hmm. It was definitely, it opened a new it opened a brand new door for me for competition.
And then so now transitioning into high school, you actually started your career off at Reading High School, right?
Yeah, I did. I started did my first 2 years at Reading, and then last year I switched over to St. John's.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I remember, when I first started doing New England rankings on CT Wrestling, I saw you as Reading High School, and then saw you, and I was like, oh, wow, that's definitely gonna help St. John's out.
Right, definitely. Manny has been a real big help to me. He's helped me a lot. Get over a few bumps. He's been there for me, and it's really helped me a lot.
Definitely a good program, some good people over there at St. John's Prep.
Absolutely.
Dude, and I gotta ask too, man, it's just me. Do people call it SJP, for short? Or
some people,
something I have in my head.
Some kids call it that. We usually just call it the Prep.
Prep. God. Yeah, that's what kids call Fairfield Prep near me in Connecticut.
Our wrestling team just calls it the Prep. Most people that I know just call it the Prep.
Gotcha. So, when you first entered high school, way back at Reading, did you have any specific goals, or were you intimidated at all by stepping into this new level of competition?
So my freshman year, it was the COVID year. So that was threw me off a little bit. I know we had that that makeshift state tournament. I got fifth at that, and it kind of got me rolling. But
And was that like a all-state tournament, like a makeshift all-state tournament, or was it like a deep divisional states?
It wasn't a makeshift all-state tournament. I know they had even kids from prep in there too. So I know some kids came from prep to go to that tournament. But yeah, I didn't even wrestle for Reading that year. I kind of just did club that year instead of, because we only were gonna have a few meets. Like, I just wasn't it to me, so I just stuck it out with Doughboys that year.
Mm-hmm. And then after that year, you placed third as a sophomore at states, right? Still at Reading.
Yeah, placed third.
You go 2-2 at New England's, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a great New England tournament, but that's definitely what fueled me last year. That definitely helped me with my training. I always kept that in mind.
So, I mean, it's funny, you say you didn't have a great tournament, but 2-2 as a sophomore, it's still quite the accomplishment. Yeah. But, dude, it sounds good that, it lit the fire under you, knowing that you were, like, on the cusp of the podium.
Definitely, yeah.
So, and then, going into last year, new school, right? St. John's Prep.
Mm-hmm. So, I just sorry for your prep. I knew I was the right fit there. I fit right in. I immediately became friends with the whole wrestling team. Tyler Knox helped me fit right in. So,
were you looking at any other schools to transfer at?
I was Shawsheen too.
Oh, wow.
But since I wasn't from one of like the states or one of the towns, that could go there. It just didn't work out. So, St. John's it was.
So, and going into your junior year, with this new program, did anything change, or are you just still on the mission? I'm making the podium, winning states, all that.
So my mindset did change a little bit. My dad always told me, all right, it's your junior year, you got to step it up now. We gotta start training harder. And that's when I really started picking it up at the gym, and that's really helped me a lot. At the beginning of the year, I was a small 138. I was always 2 pounds under, 3 pounds under. Like, I got certified at 26, I think.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I was small, and then I started hitting the gym, and by the end of the season, I was cutting 10, 11 pounds each week to make it to 38.
Wow. So then, it's all muscle, I bet,
Yeah.
In the gym, pumping iron.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then, in that junior year, you I feel like last season there was a match. I think you took out Kadish.
Yep.
And that was when I think I ranked you. I put you up from like number 7 to like top 3 or whatever, and that's when you solidified yourself to me as one of the top wrestlers in your division. So did you also, like, after that win, did you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm here?
That was big to me, yeah. I knew I was there. I just had to make it over that bump mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So beating him really put me over that plateau. Like, I finally did something, and he's my good friend, good kid. So also had respect there too.
Yeah, it's definitely that definitely makes the win a little sweeter then,
Yeah,
sweeter,
definitely.
But hurts a little bit,
Yeah, a little bit.
So, and then you had a damn good New England tournament, junior year. You dropped your second match, I believe, right?
Second match, yeah.
Battle back.
Yeah. I knew I just had to go. It was time. I just knew, all right, I was like, after that match, I was like, all right, what's next? Like, I have to go on a run now.
Dude, and you know, faced some tough people. I remember I watched one of your matches at New England's when you faced Anthony Basile.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking in my head, like, wow, these guys shouldn't be facing each other in the consies right now.
Yeah.
But you guys are, and, you know, it was just crazy match. You took them out, you know?
Yeah, I knew I was going to have to beat some good kids to come back for third. I knew I was going to probably have Joyce again, and then Ice, and yeah, really.
Who'd you beat for third again?
Linder from thing.
Oh yeah, dude. You know, what a great tournament you had. So, but then again, you know, you reached third on podium New England's. I'm sure that only just makes you want the top spot even more. You know.
Absolutely, I'm really looking forward to this year. I've been grinding, so excited to see what I can do. Put all this grinding. To see what I can do, you know. Time to show what I can do.
And you're thinking 157, right?
Yeah, 157. I'm thinking.
And you know, so there's this little event coming up for the season, New England Showcase, that you're down to 157 for. You excited for that?
I am excited. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, dude, I'm super excited to see. You know, we got like you, Humphreys, Teagan.
Yeah,
Emerson. It's gonna be a great time, dude.
Right.
Is there anything else you want to touch on, Jayden?
I think that's it. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course, man.